Are we live yet?
Yeah, I forgot to hit live.
Oh man.
Yeah, I forgot to go live. You know, Richie and Squeak and I were going to just sit here and have a whole conversation for an hour.
We already said hi to everybody and everything.
I know, right?
This show's
We
half
got the weather forecast. It was snowing.
Yeah, it was. We were
5
doing the
minutes
weather
ago here in Maine.
It was snowing 5 minutes ago at Richie's house in Maine. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Almost a year and a half doing this stream. That's never happened. So I had one of those days. Okay, it's been one of those days. As a matter of fact, I think I texted Audra like at 12 o'clock this afternoon, going, "Oh Jesus, it's already one of those days." So it was already. I was at work for a couple hours, and it was already there. And Bill, you can relate.
I needed that.
All right. So y'all have your fun with that shit.
There's a first time for everything.
I needed that one.
Man, I hope you guys enjoyed the music. No, you didn't. We did though.
We did, yeah. It sounded pretty good.
We did. It was great. We're all sedated now, and it was awesome. So I'll repeat myself. Audra and I would like to thank you all that came out last night to support us on Share the Love. And a big thanks to Mark the Berg Hunter for coming on and sharing his rendition of, I can't remember the name of it though. Anybody remember the name of it?
Richie plays guitar in it.
Oh, Richie played guitar?
No, I didn't on that one. No.
Oh, you didn't on that one? No. So you're not getting paid then?
No.
You waited all. You want me to redraw?
I was asked if I wanted to contribute, but it wasn't.
All right, hold up.
It wasn't up my alley.
Hold up.
Oh no.
Hold up.
It was a good show, y'all. Thanks for coming in.
Hold up. I'm gonna take everybody out. Hold up. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Remove.
Just give me to the
Have a great night. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's throw everybody back up here again.
The show Obieta.
Are we live again?
Which show is that? There was more than
I'm
one.
confused.
There was more than one show going on. I'll never hear the end of that friggin' again.
At least it takes the place of the spoon.
I'm pretty sure that'll come up next Tuesday night. Yeah, I don't know anything about spoons. So somebody was talking about playing the spoons last night. So I forget who it was. But no, I won't. You're right. In case y'all missed it, we weren't live. I got the shirt on. Autumn City. The dudes band. So anyway, it was snowing in Maine 20 minutes ago.
It was.
Why on earth it was snowing on May 17th is beyond me.
It's down cold out there. That's why.
And you know what's funny? I was at work this morning. She's gonna play my opening next week. Awesome. And the Degas is here.
Hey, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
It was yeah, she said the same thing. It's cold. And it is an awesome shirt. It is an awesome shirt. So in case y'all missed it, I had a little technical snafu. I don't know if you call it technical. I just didn't hit the freaking live button. Richie and Bill and I and Squeak had a wonderful conversation about you all. How
We
wonderful
started
you
the
guys
show.
are. Yeah. So it was a great show. You missed it. Anyway, frost tomorrow morning in PA. Wow. Wow.
I
I
took
can't.
I've been polishing rocks in a tumbler for 5 weeks, and tomorrow was the day they were supposed to come out. So I took them out today. I didn't want to leave them in the cold temperatures tonight after 5 weeks.
Why is it whenever I hear somebody say I was polishing rocks, I feel like I'm streaming from a penitentiary. I was like, I'm waiting for somebody. I was making license plates this morning, and and you know, Bill, for past military experience, what a BMFR and an LMFR is.
Hey, I've had to mop rainwater, so
yeah,
polishing rocks would have been a treat.
Yeah, we used to do what we call the police call, or we would make little rocks out of big rocks, so to speak. Actually, it's funny you say that, Amanda, that those rocks were pretty, because I have some of those rocks, those polished rocks that Richie sent with his donations for Dig It Dude, and we have a package of those polished rocks that we are going to be giving away.
Some of that red jasper I just showed you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this one's got a weird name. It's not red jasper, but it looks almost like it. The guy told me the name of it right before he polished it, but I can't remember the name of it.
Black rock.
It looks black to me, but
yeah, from here
I'm just a amateur when it comes to rocks. I don't know half of them, but I know the ones that polish because I can do a hardness test on them.
I just know the ones that get in my boot while I'm digging, and I got to stop in the middle of the field, and you know what I'm saying. But hello, Alice Wonderland.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me stop real quick and say hello to these awesome people.
We did that already.
Make sure we're live this time.
Yeah, but they weren't here for that.
They were there. We just weren't there.
We weren't here. Yeah.
Make sure we're live this time.
All right, we got Alice Wonderland is here. Paul and Belinda, American Woodland Relics.
How you
Anthony
doing?
Brooklyn Treasure Hunter is back out digging. That's awesome. My digging partner Brucey, he's here. Got himself a nice 1863 fatty Indian Monday when we went out. Mr. Dave Hartacusa Size is here. The Degas, Amanda Digger Degas is here. Don't forget, 8 o'clock on Monday nights. You can check them live on Spreaker on their podcast, Treasure Vortex. Digging the North, Janice is here. Digging with Squeak is here. Mr. Javier Garcia is here.
Yeah.
The Jersey History Hunter, Miss Autumn City herself, is here. The Madman, Richie, is here. Mike. Naughty Man 24 is here. Catch him on Saturday night. Richie?
Yeah.
Saturday nights at
7:30,
7:30.
right after me.
Yeah. Mr. Rick Chabot is here. Joe, Michigan Gems and Mini Gems, welcome. Mr. Phil Bortner is here. Miss Shannon Q is here. Shannon will be sporting her new East Coast metal detecting t-shirt. Hopefully that finds her. I hope it does her as well as it did Phil. I believe Phil wore that shirt out and got a bucket lister that day. That's a beautiful thing. Mr. Tom Kingery is here. And we got the one and only Mr. Ultimate Finds Box himself, Eric Lamort is here. And if you don't have your Ultimate Finds Box, go hit theultimatefindsbox.com. He has not one, not two, but 6 new colors for the Find Box. Mixed and match colors. We got the orange and black. We got the orange and green. It looks like a rainbow. It looks like a huge rainbow on his site. He's got accessories coming for the Xterra Pro. Actually, my new Xterra Pro is at his house right now, it's serving as a model for his accessories. When he's done with that, we're gonna take her out for a spin.
I feel like you need one of those finds boxes, and just like The Price is Right, put it out front here and have a model.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, man. I don't know. I don't know what I would do without mine, because it's like I got one of the original ones, and plus a bunch of different colored ones and all that. And it's the first thing I grab for when I find a button or a watch winder or a coin. It's the first thing I grab. Got to make sure it's safe, because you know what? You spend your time doing research. You spend your time getting out there. You're swinging. Sometimes you're swinging for hours and don't find shit. And then you hit something. Last thing I want to do is throw something just on the bottom of my bag and forget it's there. And, there it goes. It's gone. So keep those finds safe. Go there, ultimatefindsbox.com. Mr. Alan Hendricks, Valley Relic Hunters, is here. Brian, you're digging it. Metal detecting is here. BC Treasure Trails is here. We have an Ed Flash in Your Pan sighting. Ed is here. Catch Ed Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, following immediately after our Share the Love stream. Mr. Bert Stover popped in. Wow. I don't know what to say, man. I'm just blessed you guys are here. I think I got everybody covered. If I don't, or you come in late, welcome and thank you. And well, let's get on to tonight's topic, shall we?
What is tonight's topic?
I want to be sedated.
Yeah, that's tonight's topic. Bill and I have had a day. Well, Bill's had an easy day.
His voice.
Yeah.
You're losing your voice.
Yeah. That's how good my day was. I'm losing my voice.
Yeah. So here's the topic of tonight. And you guys know I don't generally do this, but I felt it necessary. Plus, I couldn't think of anything else. So,
He's out of Mad Libs, y'all.
what's that?
I said you're out of Mad Libs.
Yeah, I am. Well, no, I got the book. I got the book right here. Oh, wait, that's a different book. Sorry. Whew. It's a different book. Wait, Alice.
Birthday, Alice.
It's Alice's birthday? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold on. It is Alice's 64th birthday today. And hopefully it works.
Damn, there's more of it.
Okay, great. Happy birthday to Alice.
It sounds like something out of the 80s.
I was gonna say I was waiting for it. It sounded like something out of that. Remember that movie back in the 80s? What was that, like Beat Street or something like that? With the
Yeah,
breakdancing
Beat
and all that. Yeah. Dennis DF Digger, what's up, man?
Hey, Dennis.
Dennis, I got a question for you, bro. Why are you guys the only ones that got snow in May? Answer. I got to hear it.
He's
I gotta
about
hear
an
an answer.
hour away from me. It may not have snowed at his house.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, all right. So here's the topic for tonight. Everybody has somebody or something that inspired them or got them into this hobby. You said it was spitting snow there today. Joe got snow in Michigan. Y'all need to keep that shit right where it is. Thank you very much. And I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, Ed said he's going dredging this weekend, Richie. Keep that white stuff right there where it's at. Wow. Everybody's got something or someone that either got them into the hobby or kept them in the hobby. Because we all know that there's many people that have, they think about what we do. They think about the metal detecting or the treasure hunting, and they have this vision of grandeur. Like they're going to, like they're going to hit like one of Captain Cook's chests, or
We're gonna find the Oak Island treasure
well, that seems to be wood
and nails.
and nails. Yeah.
A lot of times when I ask for permission, they always say, if you find $1 million, split it with me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got to be honest with you. I dig a lot of iron. I don't get quite as excited about it as they do over there on Oak Island. I just don't. And Paul said that Emily Little Dirk Diggers was his inspiration to start metal detecting. Not a bad I don't want to say role model because she's 12, but why can't a 12-year-old be a role model?
Inspiration.
She got me into it several years back.
And I've kept you in it.
Yep.
That's because he buys milkshakes.
She came up to me at 5 years old and said, "Daddy, I want to go metal detecting." I said, "What in the hell do you know about metal detecting?" She said, "I watch Aqua Chigger and Nugget Noggin."
I didn't start getting milkshakes till I was 8.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I got a bridge I want to sell you. You interested?
No.
Okay, great. I'm just kind of curious. We all know that they're Ronald Biasi. What's up, man? We all know that everybody, there's just different people that do this for different reasons. You got the beach hunters, love finding the rings and all that stuff. And you got people that hit pretty much primarily tot lots. And then, you got people that love to hit the woods. You got the bottle diggers, the mudlarkers, and, much respect and much love to all of them. Cellar holes, yeah, exactly. But there had to be something that created a spark, or someone, could be either or both. Apparently Joe mowed lawns, and that's what got her inspired. I mowed lawns as a kid, and I wasn't thinking about a metal detector. I was thinking about when am I going to be done and get my allowance. Shit.
Well,
But
11 years ago, I saw a guy on YouTube, Adventures with Jim, and that's what got. I just looked him up, see if he's still putting out videos. Still putting out videos, but his channel went kind of weird, so stopped watching him a while back. But he's still on there.
you know what? It's got to start somewhere. Brian said he thinks he was born within his DNA. I think most of us, it was there. But for those of us that are up there in age,
What's up there?
that's awesome, Mike. Mike, he wanted to find a class ring and return it. And 6 months after starting in 2016, he was blessed and able to, on the news, no less. Well, that's awesome. Oh, she only detected mowed lawns. I have to read up for. Yeah, it's hard to keep up. You forget. It's the same person who forgot to hit go live. So you have to bear with me today. It's one of those days why I have this.
What gets me even more is how many branches there are in this hobby.
Oh, it's expanded.
It's always expanding.
Yeah.
Someone's always finding something new that's like, holy crap, that's really awesome.
So I'm just kind of curious. I'm kind of curious on some of the answers of what got people into this. Blonde hair. Yeah.
Phil said Shannon told him to get the F out of the house, and so he had to find something fun to do.
Okay. Well, that could happen. It happens.
Happens a lot here.
Ronald Biasi. Saw a guy doing it when I was a kid at the Ball Diamond. It stuck with me. Went all in 5 years ago in 53. I kind of remember 53.
Wow, Alice said they live on San Croix River. They have islands everyone camps on all summer.
I used to buy the Treasure magazine and saw all the cool finds. My aunt gave me an old Radio Shack metal detector and been hunting since 1996. There's no wrong answer to the question. It's a lot of people will say, oh, well, I have a friend that does it, kind of got me into it. Some people saw a YouTube video, like you guys, Richie, you saw a YouTube video. And, it's funny. When I was a kid, my mom had bought me an old, cheap Radio Shack metal detector. And I never used it. And the funny thing is, I think she bought it for me when I was about, I want to say 9 or 10. And it sat in my garage. Never took it out. I never used it. I just wouldn't have known where to begin. I looked at it so many times, and I just was like, tomorrow or maybe next week, and I never did. And you know what the funny thing is? In 2012, I lived in a town in South Jersey called Mystic Island. My backyard looked directly across the river at Atlantic City. And
What was that?
Bobby going live.
oh, all right, great. And in 2012, end of October, Sandy hit. So I got my mom safe inland to a friend's house, and I stayed back, and the condo was up on stilts, basically. And so I spent from about 5:30 that night till the next morning laying on a couch going like this. Because it made landfall right behind my house in Atlantic City, the eye of it. So I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Water receded out of the parking lot for the most part. I stopped hearing shit rattling around down in the garage. I go downstairs, open the garage door. My car's in the garage. We had a refrigerator freezer downstairs, two of them. One of them was on top of the roof of my car. Yeah. Shit all over the place. We had 6 feet of water in my garage. I remember FEMA showed up a day later or 2 days later and said, well, yeah, you said your car is totaled? I said, yeah, it's got water damage. He goes, you sure? I said, open the glove compartment. He opened the glove compartment and went, only thing that didn't come out of my glove. Only thing that didn't come out of my glove compartment was a fish. But I remember I had to take the next couple of days off of work to get everything out of the garage because now you got to worry about mold. Mm-hmm. So I had to get all that out. Shit. And get everything out of the garage and get the walls gutted real quick. Keep mold out and all that crap.
At least that's all you had to worry about. We were afraid to go back in our houses every time it flooded.
And we, it's funny. I was cleaning out the garage and getting all this crap out of there. And I kept looking at that detector my mom bought me when I was 10. And thank you, Joe. Deej.
Hey, Deej.
So I said, it can't be any good now. But it something I don't know, something switched on me. But at the time, I was working so much, I just didn't have time. And then in 2015, February to be exact, my mom got ill. And so I took a leave of absence from work. And I just felt weird about somebody else coming in to take care of her. So I wanted to take care of her. So I became her caregiver. And it was a blessing and a curse all at once. I knew she wasn't going to live much longer, but I got to spend every day, all day with her and cook for her and all of this. And I remember about 2 weeks before she passed, she says to me, she goes, you know what? You should buy a metal detector. I said, well, I'll worry about that at some other point. Right now, there's other pressing issues to worry about. She goes, no, you should get one. Pick one out. I'll get it for you. I said, no. I said, you get better and we'll worry about that afterwards. And she never got better. And I don't know. People, you know me now, but you didn't know me then. I was a plain Jane, simple person. White sneakers only, black sneakers only, plain, everything straight. work, nothing but work. I still work a lot, but for anybody that's seen my sneaker collection, that's changed drastically. I don't know, just something happened, and I guess in tragedy, there's always a treasure. So my treasure in tragedy was learning to live my life and stop working so damn much and enjoy life a little. So I went out and bought a metal detector, a bounty hunter. I still have it. It's right back there. And the rest is history. But the people that inspire me now, that motivate me, believe it or not, I know a lot of people, Aqua Chigger and Nugget Noggin and Quarter Hoarder and all that. You know what really gets me? And I might be alone in this. The new people coming in is what gets me. It really gets me because they don't know any better. They go out and they think, they dig up some pull tabs. They pull up bottle caps and they get frustrated. And, there are some that do that and they probably wind up getting out of the hobby because their idea of treasure and grandeur changes. But then you have the ones that stick with it, that get encouragement, that are around and surrounded by the right group of people, that tell them, hey, what's up, Trey? And Fox in the Ground, what's up? And Skip. But you know what? I get excited about that because you know what? I sit there and I go, that was me. That was me. That was that right there. That was me. When I first started, that was me. So when I see the people starting out and, and I know some people are going to be like, really? But when I find a Wheatie or a Merc or a Rosie or something like that, it's probably better that I don't videotape because I get pissed. I do. I get pissed. I don't. The stuff that it just I get pissed. I don't want it. It's not what I'm looking for.
Some people would go crazy to find that.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Depends
what?
on where you're at.
I've been blessed, man. I'm blessed, but I see them dig that stuff up, and I got my first silver, a 1963, Rosie, and I'm like,
My
you know
oldest
what?
coin ever. And
and yeah, or I see somebody dig like a 1909 Wheatie and go, wow, that's my oldest coin ever. And I sit there and I say to myself, you know what? That was me once. That was me. And I see them get excited. You would, Paul. You live in Georgia. Of course you get excited about shotgun head stamps.
12th Georgia.
I get shotgun head stamps here. I turn around and look over my shoulders to make sure nobody's pointing a gun at me.
when I first got in the hobby, I started collecting them, thinking, it'd be cool to have different ones. And then after a while, I tossed them all.
I just, it's me, myself, when I find that stuff. I mean, I find Wheaties and stuff like that. I toss them into the woods, man. I do. It is what it is.
We love finding Wheaties.
But I see them dig that stuff up, and I get excited for them because I see, and I'll give you a perfect example. I'll give you two examples.
Hey, Swamp Fox.
Swamp, hey, always better late than never, bro. But the bar, you missed, we had happy hour, and, 2-for-1 drinks, you missed it. I'm going to give you two examples. One is Bruce that's in this chat right now, or he was. I don't know if he's still here. Yeah, he's here.
He's here.
Bruce had been detecting 20 years, right? And I started detecting with Bruce 2 years ago. And I had just started doing farm fields around that time, maybe a little bit before. And I remember him saying, and this is my greatest to date now, my greatest day out detecting is we were detecting a field, and I happened to find and spot another field, and it was big. So let's go over and hit this. And there was about 4 or 5 of us, and we went over, and Bruce and I had been talking, and we got out 6 or 7 times. I was determined to get him someplace where he was going to get his first copper ever. And I remember we get out there, and we got 2 of us. 2 of them were scattered one end of the field. I'm in the middle of the field. Bruce is off to the side. Bruce is always off to the side. Bruce loves the perimeters. So I remember just vividly, I'm standing there, and I look over, and Bruce is walking towards me. And you would have thought he had the Ark of the Covenant in his hands. And he came walking over, and I looked, and just by the look of him, I knew. And he walks over and he goes, I think I got my first copper. And I grab it real quick, and I look, and I was like, it's a matron, dude. You got your first copper. I got to tell you, I did videotape that, and that is the single greatest moment I have ever had metal detecting. There's nothing that I have found that compares to it. Nothing. And most of you here, you follow on Facebook, you know what I find. There's nothing that compared to that day. Nothing. Period. Ever.
I got a similar story, Bobby. Everyone who watches my channel knows who Kelly is. He's my digging partner.
Yep.
And he was in a cornfield one time, and he was on the other side of the road, and he dug something special. I come over, and this huge copper. It's brushing off, trying to figure out what it is. Of course, we don't know all the coppers, but it ended up being a cartwheel penny.
Man.
And,
and you know what the funny thing is too? This is the funny part. So he gets his first copper. I swear, dude, I was like shaking. I didn't even find it. And I was like, and it was a matron. And I'm like,
Hey, Teresa.
Hey, what's up, Teresa? I'm sitting there, and I had no words. The look on his face said, I mean, there wasn't any words that could even really do anything for it. Just the look on his face after 20 years of detecting and some holding that thing. To this day, there is nothing that's compared to it. Nothing that I found, nothing that I've been around. And then the funny thing is, it wasn't too long after that, we're at a spot, and he comes walking over to me, right? And he hands me this tiny little silver thing. And he's like, oh, I don't know what this is. So I grabbed it from him real quick, and I went, dude, it's a real. Half real. Really? Yeah. I'm like, he found a real before I did. Nah, I mean, I found one not too long later, and then I went crazy with him. But
now, you say 120 years and never found a copper. What was he doing? Tot lots and
beaches, parks, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I basically I did for him what was done for me. I was, when I first started, I didn't know any better. I was hitting the beaches and other parks and stuff like that. I didn't know any better. But I didn't know like I said, I didn't know any better. So, but after a while, I knew something was missing. I just knew it. And the person that did that for me, that said to me, yeah, you're not digging up anything old. You're not digging up any history. I said, yes, that's what I'm missing. It said to me, farm fields. You got to go farm fields. Plain and simple. You got to go hit farm fields.
We hate farm fields.
I know. So that night, I did some research, and I went and I hit a place, and I think I was there 10 minutes, and I pulled out my first copper, KG2, and that was the end of it for me. I really never went to the beach again. I had somebody do for me what I did for Bruce. And that somebody that did that for me was Eric Lamort, Ultimate Finds Box. And it changed everything. And but I get the biggest kick of seeing the new people, get out and they find a Rosie or a Matchbox car and they get excited. And I know there's some groups that you're in and they get kind of stupid with that stuff. And it happened to me when I was first starting out. I'd find $25 worth of clad and this and that. And I'd post it in a group, and then there would be some stupid comment, and it got me out of the hobby for a year and a half or so. Because I said, really, this is what I got into. Maybe this isn't for me. I wasn't surrounded by the right people. Let's just say that. And it was discouraging. It really was. Some of the groups I was in, I didn't see. I saw what some people were digging up, and I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'm just not good at this, and I stopped. I think I stopped from 2017 till COVID hit, and I didn't think about it again. And I just, I just think about that, and I think about all the shit I got of being a newbie, and there wasn't anybody there to say, you know what, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Eventually the older stuff's going to come. And I saw everything that I didn't want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And for those of you that don't know this, that is the whole reason I started East Coast Metal Detecting.
Mm-hmm.
Whole reason why I started it. There's a couple other reasons, but that's the main reason, is because I didn't want to be involved in any of that, but I didn't have any control over it. I wanted to have control over it. I wanted to provide a place where everybody was welcome and everybody felt comfortable, and it didn't matter what you found, you got out. You got out, and that's the first step. That's the biggest step. And I've watched over the last 2+ years that I've started that, me and Eric started that group. I've watched people evolve and grow. I'll give you a perfect example. The Bortners. I've watched them elevate. I've watched them go from, I wish I could find this, I want to find this, I wish I could find that, to
Hey, Trevor and Luke.
hey, Trevor, to look what I found. I got a bucket lister. I got this. I got that. I'll give you another example of a moment that far exceeds anything I found. I will never, ever forget the day that Audra.
Yes.
You hungry?
Her ear.
Oh, your
Still
ears
bothering.
bothering you?
I am hungry.
I'll never forget the day. I'll never forget the day. And then Audra's been doing this 30 years or 35 years. I'll never forget the day. I'm about, 50, 60 feet away from her. And she calls me over, and I go over, and she looks down, and I look down, and there's this big, chunky piece of silver sticking out of the wall. And she was a wreck. Now, you're talking to somebody who's found gold brooches, pistols, you name it. I never forget when she's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. My hands are shaking. I pull this coin out. I get it cleaned off. And I look and I go, Morgan. And just the whole thing, the hands are shaking. She was a wreck, an absolute wreck. But I'll never forget, and this goes to show you, it doesn't matter how long you do this, how long you do it. It's amazing the inspiration you can get and the excitement. I'll never forget the excitement on her, the look on her face. I'll never forget it. These are the things to me that this hobby has brought. The joy that I get to see on people's faces. Seeing Squeak pull that cane topper
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
in Florida.
Well, you know, with us,
The ring.
for her and BJ and even mine, all three of us, our very first silver coins, I had Justin Sully turn them into rings for us.
Nice.
You know, it's one thing to find a coin, you put the coin on the shelf, but it's something else when you have it made into something that, you know, it's now something else.
Right.
You know, so all three of us have our first silver.
But it's still there. The find is still there though.
Yep.
And that's another one. You know, I was finding Indians. I find Indians all the time here. And Phil was like, I gotta find it. I can't find an Indian. I can't find an Indian. Shannon's got an Indian. I can't find an Indian. I can't find an Indian. Boom. He finds an
On
Indian.
your business cards.
And I was like, yes. And I get so excited seeing other people find. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't get excited when I find things, but I get excited for a minute. And then once I get over that and I just get back to swinging and get to my next hole, it's pretty much done.
You're talking
Yeah.
about Indians. There's Squeak's Indians. She dug 5 of them in a hole. She had an
Oh,
Indian
nice.
spill.
And then in the next hole was 6 week hit.
Yeah, and then the next one she got 6 sweet pennies. Dude, I'm gonna tell you, man, we've been really blessed with coins. And I see people in the chat, they're talking about research, research. You know, the most research we'll do is we'll pull up historic aerials.
Yeah.
If I happen to see a blip on a field that had a house, we're gonna hit it, but we don't research. You could have
But
a house built
but that's-
tomorrow.
But that's key. That's huge.
No.
That tells you that there was activity there, that people lived there.
But see, we don't do the fields unless we have nothing else. We would rather do if a house was built yesterday. Oh, we brought in a bunch of fill dirt. Well, it came in from somewhere. We'll detect it.
I mean, I've been blessed to be around for people's firsts. I was with Bruce when he found his first copper. I was with Bruce when he found his first real. I was with Bruce. Audra and I were with Bruce. Matter of fact, 5 minutes before me, Bruce, and Audra we're talking. So somebody's going to get a silver. And 5 minutes later, Brucey comes walking over with this tiny little thing like this, and he walks over with it. I'm like, I looked at Audra. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He pulls out a Trime.
I've never found one yet.
You know,
I don't have a Trime. I don't have a Trime.
Florida was the first time we'd ever actually been with a bigger group and detected. Normally we're by ourselves. We've had Swifty out with us a bunch, things like that. And,
You
we're
guys,
having
got
one.
out, you guys got out with Shane too the same day as Swift.
Got out with Shane, Randy, Swift and I used to detect together quite a bit. But we've mainly been by ourselves. Florida, we had Teresa, Audra, Shelley, Dawn, Brian Carmichael, just a whole group of people. And that's when she popped that cane topper out. And that was just like, holy crap, because everybody come out of nowhere. It's like, where in the heck all these people come from?
Brian was with Royal when Royal dug up his GW button. And I was lucky enough in 2021. I was at Dakestock in Chazy, upstate New York, and Brian and Royal were there, and I got to hold Royals GW button. That was awesome. But you know, it just never ceases to amaze me. I know it sounds kind of maybe sounds a little weird, but whenever I see either people starting out or you know people finding firsts, it's almost like it's almost like it's doing it all over again for myself. If it's weird, I know it sounds weird, but you know, if somebody finds you know, like when Phil got his IHP, I was stoked.
Mhm.
I mean, I was stoked because you know when you go looking for something, you never find it.
Mhm.
You
You know what else is really cool though is there's something in this hobby that someone loves. You know, people dig up, like you said, Hot Wheels cars, Matchbox cars, like, I found a little car. There's someone in one of these groups that's like, holy crap, dude, that is awesome. And they're like, really? You like these? And they're like, man, that's my thing. For us, it's Boy Scout slides. And people are like, oh, we dig them up all the time. Yeah, we love them. We
I
love
like
doing.
picking up the Matchbox cars as long as they're the ones with the metal bottoms, the older
Yeah.
ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
You know, Tootsie Toys. Man, we love finding them things.
but I just, you know, I get so excited, and especially like if I have people come out, like you know, if I take Audra to a place, or you know, or took Bruce to a place, you know, we all like finding stuff. But
That's what we don't find a lot of.
marbles, me either. I got one. I have one marble, literally one marble. But
Today produced one.
I love when I bring people to places and they find stuff. I don't care if I walk away with nothing. That's the part that really, really gets me stoked. You know what? Because, like, take Bruce, for instance. Bruce, 20 years without a copper. He gets a copper. And I told him this, too. You know what's going to happen? You're going to find one, and then you're going to start hitting them. Guess what? He finds his first copper. I get to be there for it. And the next thing I know, it's a week later. I'm at work. He's out. He hits another copper. He's sending me pictures. I'm like, I told you. You hit one. It opens the floodgates. There you go.
As soon as you break that seal.
That's it.
It's like that first pee of the morning. As soon as you break that seal.
Well, yeah. I don't know if that's a seal or not, but
Well,
yeah.
after you've had a couple of cups of coffee, especially.
You know, that's why I love that show that came on, The Detectorist. It was
yeah,
goofy,
it did
it was
season.
funny, but you know what? A lot of it was real. You know, Swifty and I would be walking along, and we both kind of stop and pull out the coffee, and we're like, "You got to be shitting me!"
But you know, I mean, and I know, and a lot of people, you know, say, you know, well, I go out, I hunt like twice a week. I find stuff, I post it. But I don't post it because I want everybody to go, look at me, look at Bobby, look at Bobby. You know what? I got it all right here. I can look at it anytime I want to. So I don't need accolades. I don't need anything. And I got everything back here. I got coppers and I got everything. What I want people to realize is, and I posted in my group and in other groups, is because I want those people that are starting out. I want the people that are out there, getting out there and continuing to get out there to understand it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It is there. It's out there.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I love showing off Squeak's finds.
I mean, I love nothing better when I see people find stuff, especially like I remember Traver, and I remember watching kind of like a progression with Traver. Mm-hmm. He would find a Wheatie, and as my oldest coin to date. Oh. All right. Then he would find something else. This is my oldest coin to date. You get to watch the progression of people. Huh? You get to watch the level of excitement start to grow. And I got to tell you, there's, like I said, there is nothing that I have found that compares to that. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, and I tell people all the time, if you're finding Wheaties, you're in silver
You're-
range.
You're in Merc range,
You're in that
in
time
Barber
frame.
range.
Yep. You're in that time frame. And it only takes that one signal.
And then, I'm finding bottle caps. I'm finding pull tabs. You know what that means? There
It's
was
activity.
people. There was people there. Guess what? That's not new. There were people there before that, but there was newer people there. So you got to get the newer shit out.
Yeah.
And get to the older shit. Some hang and do it. Some give up. I give all the respect in the world and all the kudos to the world to the people that hang in there and have that I know it's there somewhere mentality. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
the funny thing is, and don't take this the wrong way, but I actually tell my people that work, the people that work for me, the people that I train, I tell them this all the time, and it does translate to this hobby. I tell them, stay stupid. And some people just look at me and go, what? Stay stupid. I don't care whether it's metal detecting or a hobby or a business or a profession. The moment you think you got it all figured out, something's going to come along that's going to humble you so bad. And what I mean by stay stupid is when you first start out in this hobby, if it beeps, you dig it. And then there are those that dig everything, and it's pull tab after pull tab after pull tab after can slaw after bottle cap. And then all of a sudden they start hitting these signals and they're like, oh, it's another pull tab. Oh, I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it.
Yep.
Bad move. Bad move. If I told you some of the things I've dug up and the VDIs that they were
Mhm.
on my Mind Lab, and I know so many people pass over this stuff because I'm not digging that. Oh, I'm not digging it. Oh, I'm not digging it. Oh, I'm not digging
You've
it.
done it.
We've all done it. But if you stay stupid and stay new and just dig it all because you don't know any better, pretend you don't know any better.
Keep it fun. You know,
That's
we
it. Pretend you don't know any better because you know what? I have an I am an Equinox 800 swinger. Wow, swinger.
Hmm.
That doesn't sound good.
That don't sound good.
That's not good. Hey, I'm almost 60 years old, so you know what? Screw it. If I want to be a swinger, I'll be a swinger. But on my machine, we'll say a 12, 13, 14 on a Mind Lab, and I know you know what I mean, Bill. That could be a head stamp. That could
Nickel.
be a pull tab. That could be a nickel. It could be tinfoil. It could be so many things. So many things. Not good. But then you turn around, and I've dug up Civil War infantry buttons under the same number. I've dug up other buttons under the same number. I've dug up shield nickels under that number. Same number. A gold coin can come up even lower than that. Brucey and I verified that. I actually scanned a $2.50 gold coin on my machine, and I scanned a $5 gold coin on my machine.
crap signals.
Little secret for you: I got a Knox. Neither one of them got past 15 on my Knox.
Crap signals. I mean,
Not
heck,
even, not
Ding
even,
Dong here jumping in 30-degree water for a 16 signal and pulls
I
out a
remember
ring.
you got a ring though. But you know, stay stupid.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, just stay stupid. Do not take anything for granted. Dig up everything. Even
And
if it's
keep it fun.
if it's shit, it's shit. But guess what? I mean, for those of you that do farm fields, okay, you know as well as I do, if the farm field's big enough, there are days where you get out and you're doing a whole lot more swinging than you are digging. And those are the days that are exhausting. And you'll dig a signal only because you haven't hit a signal in a half an hour. But don't let it come to that. Dig everything you don't know. Let me tell you something. I'd rather be digging than swinging, because if I'm digging, I got a chance at something. If I'm swinging and swinging and swinging and swinging and I'm not hitting anything, that's when you get discouraged. That's when you get tired. Now your arm, your shoulder, my shoulders are killing me when that happens. I remember there was one day Eric and I got out. We had this big farm field, dude, big, huge. We got there and we were like, oh yeah. We both threw on. Just drink your milk and hush. We both threw on our big 15-inch coils. We wanted depth. We were going to get it. Dude, him and I was sitting there. We were swinging for half an hour, 45 minutes. We weren't getting nothing. We were out there like 3, 4, 5 hours. We're like, dude, I can't even feel my arm right now. We could not get over anything. And, I mean, I'm 10 years older to 11 years older than Eric is. Swinging a 15-inch coil for 5, 6 hours and not doing a whole lot of digging, I felt it the next day. He felt it. I felt it. But then the other thing is also people get chew into the numbers on the machine. They get chew into the numbers. I don't care if you have a Legend or a Simplex or a Knox, and I know Richie, you're a Legend swinger.
Yep.
You can't go by the numbers.
I swing a Legend. I'm not a swinger.
Okay. You can't go by that. I don't even look at my numbers. I don't care what machine you have. I don't care what you paid for it. It doesn't matter. If it beeps, it works.
Yep.
And if you know your machine, you can hear, listen. Your ears will tell you everything you need to know. The numbers might help you a little, but how many people in here have gone over something and went, ooh, 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 and then they look at their VDI and go,
Nope.
ooh, 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 and then dig it up as aluminum can.
Yep. Or a piece of pipe.
Because
You
I
dig that
guarantee,
aluminum can every time.
I'll let you on a little secret. You get a really good, not a compact one, but a good aluminum can 6 inches down, it's going to ring up the same thing as a silver dime will.
Yeah.
Don't ever know. Listen to your machine. Know your machine. Set it the way you want to set it. Listen to the tones.
I was going to say,
And go by the tones. Do not go by numbers.
set it up to your ear. Like my Legend, it doesn't have a 3-tone, but I made it a 3-tone. I took the 4-tone and I just combined 2 of the
My
tones.
machine has 50 tones.
Mhm.
I use 5.
We use the 50s just because it works better for us. But here we're in Central Virginia. We're in like the Civil War haven. And her local sponsor has a Civil War shop, metal detector and Civil War shop. And we go up there and hang out, and we talk to a lot of the veteran hunters. There's people that come in there and they're like, we went to this spot for 20 minutes. I didn't find nothing. We left. And I researched this and this and this, and they spend more time researching than detecting. But these are almost professional metal detectors. They take what they find and they take the Civil War shows and sell it and whatnot. And they're talking to us and like, what do y'all usually hunt? Boy Scout camp and houses. We're happy with what we find. We're just as happy pulling out a matchbox on the next slide.
And I'm going to tell you something. And when I'm out, the fuck is texting me? Oh, when I'm out,
See you, Shannon.
Excuse my French. All right, Shannon, have a good night.
Night, Shannon.
Oh, they're headed. Where are they heading?
DTH, detecting the Heartland hunt. I wanted to do that, but we just can't afford it this year.
I don't know where that is.
The Heartland, mid US.
Oh, is that like the Oklahoma red dirt shootout stuff and stuff like that?
I think it's Illinois. Isn't that Illinois, Shannon or Phil?
Oh, it's in Illinois.
I thought it was.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Oklahoma?
Illinois, Stockton, Illinois.
Stockton, Illinois.
I think about growing up. I grew up around New Orleans, and none of us metal detected. And I think about all the stuff that we walked over all those years. And I really want to go back home and hunt at some point. That's one of my dreams, to go back home.
Well, it's funny you said that, Bill. It's funny you said that. You segued right into something. I've been so inspired by watching people evolve and seeing the excitement and the sense of
Hey, John.
FLX is here. And I'll tell you something else. And John, and now that John's here, John can verify this. I dug a coin up Monday. What's today?
Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday, Bobby.
Friday. I dug 2 coppers up on Friday. And one of them, I almost kind of sat there and said, this is kind of iffy. It's not repeatable. But I'm going to dig it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull it out, and it would wind up being a matron, a copper. And the funny thing is, when I posted the video for it, John made a comment. It was on edge. It was. The coin was on edge. It was straight up and down. It wasn't laying flat. That's what made me kind of think, do I want to dig this? I'm getting a 26 this way, but I'm not getting anything this way. It doesn't sound great, but I can't let it go. And that's what I mean by just go by the sound. Don't go by the number. The sound alone told me, yeah, probably not, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and dig it anyway. And if I wouldn't have, somebody else would have dig it up sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
Madman is the Ronnie DeGhetto of Underground Buddha.
JVP said we're not letting
I don't know
Madman
who Ronnie
talk.
DeGhetto. I don't know who that is, but
Ronnie DeGhetto is from Detect America. Ronnie is
Gold digger.
I know. Okay, I know who Ronnie is.
Ronnie's a really, really good guy. He does a lot for the community. Amazing, amazing guy. I've had the pleasure of dealing with him. Been to his house a couple of times. Really good guy. Doesn't say a whole lot.
Squeak likes to call him in the middle of the show when we're watching and say hi to him.
But I just since you said that, I'm going to segue into it. I get so inspired by everybody. Richie is one. I joke with him all the time. I joke with him and Dennis all the time. Um, you know, about their Padonkadonk River. But you know what? They find crazy shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They do. They find crazy shit.
Especially Dennis.
So
You,
he's
you don't,
educated.
you don't do too bad yourself.
Yeah.
You do all right, man. Is that Mama Squeak?
Yeah, it was a run by finger. It was a drive by finger.
Oh, okay. No, I was talking about it in the chat.
No, someone was saying hi, Mama Squeak.
Oh, okay. Did you come to flip me off? Okay, great.
You can continue your day now.
All is right in the world now. So, that being said, Bill, I get so inspired by all of this. I will let you know this. I will not let you know any details. I will not go too far into it. I decided, and I've started already. Bobby's writing a book.
Cool.
I'm going to rely on Audra's help to help me put it all together when I'm finished and submit it.
Fire
But,
files.
yes, yeah. Instead of Agent Mulder, it's Agent. Yeah,
Bobby's writing a book.
I am. It's actually going to be called My Walk Through Time.
And it'll have pictures so you can read it.
Yeah, I'll put pictures in there for you, Squeak.
My
I know how to
book has
read.
all kinds of
I just don't
pictures.
want to.
John gets inspired when he hangs out at the Best Western.
It's the little things in life.
It is. We get inspired by that too, John. But yes, you know what? It's something that my mom and I were supposed to do together.
Mm.
Not necessarily about the hobby, but she always said to me, you know what? One day, my mom was a police dispatcher for 30 years. And I spent a good part of my adult life serving my country.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided between two of us, we have some pretty good stories to tell.
Yeah.
Funny how things work out. We never got to do that because I lost my mom in 2015. But you know what? It's time. I'm going to speak for both of us. So this story, it's going to be not just a book on our hobby, but
Life.
kind of my journey through it all. And you know, it's funny. There's been a lot of loss lately. It's weird how they say things come in threes.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like sometimes life's got a little bit of a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've watched it. My sister, who I consider my sister, Audra, had 2 losses in her family within days last week, which is, and we've had losses in the community. Pull Tab Pam, Joe DeMarco, and we were there for that, and that's difficult. It just makes you realize how short life is, and something that I sat down with my mom and we talked about, you know, never came to fruition. So I think it's time for me to put a little bit of my mom and a little bit of me into one story, because I'm not here doing what I'm doing without her.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's plain and simple. My mom gave me the freedom from a very young age to be me.
Mm-hmm.
I think she realized at a very early age that she had no opportunity and no shot whatsoever at controlling me. So she just let me be me, and I'll never forget that, ever.
Lift the cord and let them fly.
She did, and you know what? The only thing she ever said to me, as being a police dispatcher for 30 years, she said, "Do what you got to do, but please don't ever let me see you walk through." Deal. I kept my word. I never had to walk through, not her police station anyway.
Well,
Well,
we'd love to do that with our kids when they ever stop licking windows.
yeah, but you know what? She gave me the freedom at a very early age to just be me, and she never worried what people thought. She never criticized me. She never, if I got in trouble in school or I got into a fight at school, first thing out of her mouth was, "Did you start it?" "No, I did not."
Aw.
All right, I'm good. I'm good. I never forget. I started high school. I moved from Newark to where I lived, and my mom at 8 years old gave me a roll of nickels to keep in my pocket, taped up. Because back then you walk through the wrong neighborhood, you're fighting, and you ain't fighting 3 people, you're fighting 8.
Nope.
And thank you, Brian. I stayed out of my mom's jurisdiction, but it
Have a
stayed.
go, Mike.
It stayed with me.
Night, Mike.
And I remember going to my freshman year of high school. I went from Newark, New Jersey to this town called West Long Branch. And I got into a fight, I think 3 or 4 weeks in, and instinct, just instinct. I pulled out the roll of nickels and I hit somebody. And the principal calls my mom, and mom shows up. And she's like, "Your son got into a fight." My mom looked at me and she goes, "Did you start it?" And the principal says, "No, he didn't start it, but we have a problem." "What's the problem?" "If he didn't start it, what's the problem?" "Is there any reason why your son keeps a roll of nickels in his pocket?" She's like, "Oh, I gave that to him when he was 8." I said, "Hit the biggest one. They'll run. The rest will go." And he looked at my mom like she had 9 heads. My mom looked at me. My mom looked at me and she winked. And she's like, "You didn't start it." I said, "No." And she's like, "Well, he's suspended for 3 days." So we get in the car. I'm driving home. I said, "How much trouble am I in?" She goes, "You didn't start it." I said, "No." She said, "Enjoy your 3 days."
Yeah.
That's all she cared about, is I didn't start it. But I think it's time. And, I don't want this to be about the hobby completely. I don't want it to be completely about metal detecting, even though a good portion of it is. But at the same time, I'm not doing this. There's no way I'm doing this. There's no way that I would even have thought about this all without my mom.
Yeah.
And, in June next month, it'll be 8 years since she passed. There isn't a moment that goes by she ain't here. A 4'11" Italian woman, and she was bigger than life, dude. Bigger than life. And every time I cook a meal, I can just look at her looking down at me going, because I do one of her recipes and I never get it exactly right. I throw in my own stuff here and there, and I can see her looking down laughing. But you know what? It's time, and I wouldn't be doing all this without her. And she's a huge part of it, even though she's been gone for so long. And even my wife, to this day, talks about her and how, she's just an amazing woman. It's the greatest. Her and my daughter are 2 greatest women I've ever met. Let's make sure she would agree with that. And I need to do this. I need to do this for both of us.
Mhm.
So I'm going to throw what I do and a little bit of what she does and who she is and what she meant. So we're going to make it a personal detecting book.
Oh.
I'm having fun doing it. And I just don't want it to be normal. And when have you ever known me to be normal?
Yeah, it's kind of funny you mentioned that because Jenny actually edits books for several authors, and at one time I was actually an author, so we're a big book family.
Okay, an article in Playboy magazine does not count, though.
Playboy's too tame.
He
Does
writes
she
my
do it
English
on
essays.
like Fiverr or something like that? Or,
You
No,
know,
I'm talking to Bill.
Huh?
Does she do it like on Fiverr?
No, she's actually friends with quite a few authors, and they send
Okay.
her stuff, and she actually goes through and edits and sends it back and
take care,
forth.
Mike.
He does my
Um,
English work.
You know what? It doesn't even matter if I wind up, and I appreciate that, Brian. And I consider Brian a friend. I do appreciate that. I'm not really worried about that. You know what I'm worried about? I want to write this and I want to do this because of you guys. I respect everybody here. I respect everybody in, well, almost everybody in the hobby. Unfortunately, we have several douche nozzles. Yeah, we do. But that's part of the game. But for the most part, I love and respect everybody. And I want to do this for them. I want to do this for my mom. I don't care about me. I don't care about the bestseller thing. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, how am I supposed to compete with Richie, man? He's a madman writing children's books. I can't fuck with that shit.
The hottest part is not getting the book made. The hottest part is getting people to find your book.
But you know what, Richie? If I'll tell you this, once I'm finished with it and I get everything done, and it's a matter of everything's out of my hands time. If one person reads it, if one person buys it, and one person reads it and goes, you know what? I realize now I really haven't been living. I haven't been living my life. I'm not. What's the phrase everybody uses now? I'm not living my best life.
Live like you were dying.
If that sounds like a country song.
Live like it's your last day.
If one person looks at it and says, you know what? I get it. I know where you're coming from. I get it. I'm good. I really am. I don't really care about the rest. So I will keep you all updated on that. Maybe I won't. Yes, actually, Audra has published a children's book. There's nothing I do that will be anything children's. Sorry, that's just me. That's what it is. Sorry. I apologize in advance. But
I do a children's book because I got a great imagination in the stories I think of.
My imagination is illegal in 17 states. Why don't I just use it? Brian says detecting. Just don't write it using a Mad Libs template.
Wow. It probably won't be a good read if you did.
Yeah. Probably. Well, it depends on who's reading it.
I mean, hell, they got the People of Walmart coloring book. So
Walmart?
People of Walmart coloring book.
You know,
really?
Adult coloring book is a hot item right now.
Richie, I know you want to talk about that. When COVID first hit, right? That was March 2020. It was 2020, right?
2019 into 2020.
Was it 2019?
It was coming over in 2019 and towards the end, and then it really went
I
everywhere
got
in
it in
2020.
2019.
So March 2020 hits here. My wife gets laid off from work in April because she works in a doctor's office, so they closed up. So my wife goes home, um, you know, files for unemployment, sitting home making, bringing home $1,200 a freaking week, sitting on her ass doing nothing, laying in bed all day.
That was me.
Yeah. And so one day she calls me and she goes, "Do you guys have adult coloring books there?" I said, I don't fucking know. What do I know? I don't know. So she says, "Well, check it out. Call me back." I said, "All right." So I walk in. I went from one store to another store, and I was, checking on my people. And I walk in. I said to the store manager, I said, "You guys got adult coloring books here?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she takes me over, and I look, and I'm like, "It's like 3." So I call my wife. I said, "They got 3 adult coloring books. This one, and Jason Momoa." She's like, "Oh, give me the Jason Momoa one." And I need crayons. I'm walking around with a Jason Momoa adult coloring book, going to get crayons. I come home. My wife's freaking coloring Jason Momoa. Every day I come home, there's a different one on the fucking refrigerator.
It's therapeutic
For who? For who?
for the one coloring.
Sitting home on your ass doing nothing, bringing home $1,200 a week is not therapeutic.
Not if you're not doing anything.
She works in an ophthalmology office. She goes in a room and she makes a shit ton of money doing nothing.
Hmm.
I make sure she don't hear that shit. And she sat home and made a shit ton of money doing nothing.
I
was
sat
at
at
work every
home
day.
and made all that money watching them do virtual school. They're like, "Y'all are paying me for this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Okay.
You know what? You know what's funny? Brian just said he's flirted with the idea of a metal detecting themed coloring book. I want to see who comes up, who has the technical skills, Audra, of coming up with a metal detecting video game.
That would be.
They've
I
got one
thought
for
of
your
it.
phone, and it sucks.
It's a metal detector for your phone. I don't know how it works.
It sucks.
But speaking of virtual school, I skipped some classes now that my teacher doesn't know who I am no more.
And I'll tell you the reason why I'm calling this my walk through time is because I don't think enough people understand, and especially people that are not in the hobby, and they ask me, all the time, well, if you don't go to the beach and you're not bringing up jewelry and all that, then why do you do it? I sit there and I say to myself, and I tell them, think about this. Go back 200 years, 250 years. There's no buildings. There's no ShopRite. There's no Walmarts. There's no Targets. And you have nothing but people everywhere. Imagine what you walk over every single day. When you go to a ShopRite and you walk from your car to the door, at some point, none of that was there. None of it.
Yep.
When you go to wherever it is you're going and you walk from your car to a front door, at some point, none of that was there. It was land and people. Imagine what you walk over on a daily basis. And that's part of my book. And for the people that have been doing this a while, and we all, and I can speak for you, I can speak for Richie, and I can speak for everybody in here. no matter how long you've been doing this, no matter what machine you have, and no matter how good you think you are going to have those days where you can't freaking get over anything. And it may have nothing to do with you. It may have nothing to do with your machine. It may have everything to do with where you are, or all of the above. Because some days, you know what? And I don't care. It's just like going to work. Some days you get out, and you get out because it's habit. You get out because that's what you feel you need to do. But that doesn't mean you're there. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you're mentally there. You're just swinging. And
Sometimes we just do it for a mental break.
Mentally, you're not there. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you have, what you swing. And John went back in time for a couple hours. It's okay, John. You're still old like me. I don't care how back in time you went. You're old just like
I
me.
just did a search for you, Bobby. My walk
What'd you
through
get?
time there's no book with that name, but there's a walk through time, and my walk through storms, and there's ones that are close, but the word "my" hasn't been used.
But they're
yet.
not mine. That's it.
Right.
It's my walk through time.
So
I don't care about them. You give a shit about them. If I can get anybody that looks like them. You know what I'm saying? But no, I looked at all that already, so I made sure of that because I didn't want anybody saying, you know. But I guess you could say it's another journey, man.
Yeah.
It's another journey, and I'm gonna write it the way I want it written, and that's a great thing. I'm gonna do it on Amazon, and that's a great thing about doing that. I can write it however I want.
It's yours.
However I want. I just gotta figure Willie. I just gotta figure out how to put it all together. I can put it all. Yeah, that's the thing. And I'm gonna get Audra. It's gonna cost me like many dinners, but it's worth it. Once I get it all finished, to help her kind of put it together to submit it, because I do want to throw pictures in there. I don't want it to be just all words. I am gonna throw in pictures of some of my coppers, my my Charles II farthings, some William III, some KGs, some drape bus, some reals, some seateds. I do want to throw pictures in there because at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want to say, but when people see like pictures, they're reading and they're like, ooh, I don't know what that is. That sounds really cool. What is that? And then when they see the picture, they're like, what? Really? That's from then? That's the thing that hits them. I just don't have the technology in my brain to figure out how to put all that together.
Import.
What?
Import. What are you writing the book on?
He already said that.
I'm writing the book on milkshakes and chocolate cookies.
Are you writing it
and
on
mommy
a
fingers.
phone or a laptop?
Am I writing it what?
Are you writing it on a phone or a laptop?
I'm actually writing it in a notebook,
Oh.
which then I'm going to transfer to my laptop. And once I do that, I'm completely lost from there. Completely lost.
Yeah.
I lost when you said notebook.
Now I will tell you this. I am going to be including people in my book. I will, and Snotty Kids, yes. Tweak. I am going to be including some of you in this group. In this group.
We're live, Bobby.
Yeah. We are finally. In this book, obviously I will not be doing that without your permission first. And I'm doing that only because if I'm including you in this book, in some way, it's only because of the respect and the admiration and um, you know, the inspiration that I get from you. Um, you will be getting no proceeds from this book. Just telling you now. Um, I'm probably not going to get any proceeds from this book, but it doesn't matter. You do shit, you do it, and you live with it. And I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a way of kind of just getting it out there and getting my story out there because I don't put a lot of my own shit on Facebook. Bill doesn't put a lot of his own shit on Facebook. He put everybody else's shit on Facebook.
I don't put hardly anything on Facebook.
You don't know what you're missing, Rich.
Yeah.
But it'll be a little bit of an insight of kind of who I am and what I do and why I do it, and we'll go from there.
See you, Anthony.
Anthony, have a good night, bro.
Night, Anthony.
So on that note, it's 8:41. We've gone 40 minutes over, and
Hey, Willie.
well, technically we're 40 minutes over.
We
Realistically,
actually started about 10 minutes late, so it all evens out.
We started early, just no one else
Yeah,
was.
yeah, we started without you. Sorry,
Yeah.
but it's appreciate you guys. I just want to tell you that how much I appreciate everybody. And they're just people that really hit you and hit you hard and hit you heavy. You guys, obviously.
What? Usually in the throat.
Like a 5-finger death punch.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And I've really grown close to a lot of people, and I mean, Bill and Squeak, you guys, you guys have been with me since day one of East Coast. Appreciate that. Richie's been there.
I don't know
John,
how long I've been here. I've been here a while.
you've been here a while.
Yeah.
We don't even keep track, man. If yesterday feels like last year, that's a problem.
You think?
It just, we've enjoyed East Coast. We've enjoyed y'all. I mean, Richie needs to get off his ass, get on a Greyhound, and come to one of these events with us.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get him there, but
I'm working on it.
They have oxen carts somewhere.
and you know what? And I wouldn't be actually in the position I'm in if it wasn't for Eric. Him and I started that whole thing together, and it's weird. It seems like it was just like weeks ago, and it's been over 2 years now, and almost 1,700 members later, and amazing people, no drama, just people pulling for each other, and just like here. I have so much gratitude, and I'm in such a debt of gratitude to the people I've been fortunate enough to be surrounded by. And I don't even word. It's so hard to even put it into words. I mean, Eric and I started this whole thing together, and Audra and I then joined up and started streaming together, and and you and Squeak and Janny and BJ, what's he in there doing?
He's up there playing on his Oculus.
No, he's
Oh, okay. And so many people. I mean, it's just it's unbelievable, and I don't have any words. I don't. I mean, there's too many, I mean, Amanda Digger DeGaz, amazing, such a good friend. Her and I talk a lot behind the scenes, and John Hernandez. I feel like I'm at the Oscars with this list of people I got to thank, and You
And,
can't
you know,
make
that's the best part is most of us, we just do it. You know, we don't expect anything.
no, exactly. I
That's the
mean,
best part. We don't expect anything from anyone.
it's the little exchanges, like, John and
Why would
I,
they expect cookies from me?
you just make cookies and be quiet. Oh shit, that's
I'm gonna
crazy.
spike your fireball with milk.
No, no.
That just gave me a bad
That
taste.
combination doesn't sound good to
But
me at
you know,
all.
and you know what the thing is? Talking about inspiring, like John and I will go back and forth in Facebook Messenger, and it's weird. It's just this weird thing. Like he'll go on a drought, I'll go on a drought. He'll pop out of the drought, or I'll pop out of the drought, and the next thing you know, yeah, I got a matron. Oh, I got one too, and then we're going back. I enjoy that so much because I get so stoked.
Yeah.
Like he'll message me. He's like, dude, look. I'm like, yeah, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then I'm ready to get out my next day, and I'll pull something out. I'll message him, and it'll be like, boom, and bacon with my chocolate. Yes, thank you, Phil. And, but I get so. I mean, it's crazy. Like I'll be at work, and John will be out digging, and John will hit me with a copper he found or something, and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm at work, damn it!"
I mean, that's what we love because, like, right now I rarely detect without squeak, and right now we've been down for over a month. We haven't been able to get out. We love seeing people finding stuff. I mean, that's
It fires me. Let me tell you something. It fires me up when if I'm I'm stuck at work on the weekends. It is what it is, and everybody else is out on the weekends and they're finding stuff. But you know what? Instead of looking at it the way some people might look at it, I look at it this way. Okay, you guys are out this weekend digging. Come Monday morning, you'll be at work. And guess where I'm going to be? Out digging.
I mean, soon she and I will get back out and start having fun again. We just, with her surgery and our work schedule right now, man, we're stuck.
And then in 3 weeks, we'll be
This
unavailable
message,
for 3
somebody's
months.
messaging me terrible shit.
Yeah, in 23 days, my summer's done. Camps open up.
23?
Oh, see, this is what I mean. And then John messages me, and it looks like he got himself a pocket watch.
Nice.
Cool.
Look like a watch.
I'm not gonna find a pocket watch Friday when I'm off, but now I gotta go out and find a watch winder so I can wind up his watch. I can wind up his watch. See, that's how it works.
I got 16 days before school.
And before we know it, Dig It Dude will be upon us.
100
And
days.
I'm really looking forward to that because all summer I work out at the Jewish summer camp. My whole summer's done. And at the end of summer, we got Dig It Dude, my birthday, my oldest boy's birthday. That'll be during Dig It Dude. We're looking forward to that because we consider y'all our family. Our family's going to be around us for my birthday. That's going to be awesome. Audra came down for my birthday last year. That was really, really cool.
I remember. If Jenny starts singing "We Are Family" in the background, I'm leaving.
We are family.
Oh, just drink your milk. Drink the milk. But yeah, man. I mean, like John and I will it's like we go back and forth, and it's not like haha I got this, haha I got that. It's like, dude, I got this. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, did I say fuck? Sorry.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, fuck it.
Cross mouth.
Yeah. And then I'll get out and I'm like, dude, boom, look, boom. We get stoked and we push each other. And you know what? It's awesome. I love it. And again, I appreciate it. I appreciate you all. I will not keep you updated on the book. You have to just when I'm done, I'm done. It is what it is.
And we expect to have it out on Amazon next week, Bobby.
What's that?
We expect to see it on Amazon next week.
Oh hell no! You got 2 chances of seeing it next week. Slim and None and Slim went that. I got no time. I don't have enough time to get it out that quickly. It's taking me a while because I just don't have a lot. I don't. I mean, even on the 2 nights that I stream, Tuesdays and Wednesday nights, dude, I literally walk in the door, grab my shit. My wife looks at me and goes, "Goodbye," and I come downstairs and I just don't have a lot of time. It's just too much work, not enough play. It is what it is, man. I do the best I can with the time I have, and
You know, that's what I miss most about COVID. We were getting out every day. We
I
were
know.
watching videos every
Well,
day.
I was still working during the whole thing, but I got out more often because of the fact that instead of coming home and doing this and doing that, you couldn't go out to dinner. You couldn't go to the mall. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do that. So you had so much more time on your hands. I guess you can consider it a blessing and a curse all at the same time, because I'll tell you this: if it wasn't for COVID, I probably would not have gotten back into the hobby
Yeah.
because I stopped detecting, and COVID got me back in because I just had. Once I got done with work, I was it. I couldn't go to a bar and have a drink. I couldn't go do this. I couldn't do that. So that's what I had to do, and I did it. And it gave me an opportunity and a chance to kind of just be out there with just me and
Around here, that's all we could do. You could be outdoor for exercise and activity.
Yep.
But that was it, and sitting in the house watching the walls close in sucked, man. But, we got to watch everybody's videos every day. We were out detecting every day.
Yep.
And now, work is back going. Our department's back up, and people are like, man, y'all haven't done anything in a while. Well, life is back, man, and with a vengeance.
And you know what the funny thing is? Some of the things that really get me stoked and it made me want to write this book. We were at the last Come Out Swinging, and we went up a little early and we hunted with Charlie, and I got to hunt with John and Pete Sorrell and Royal, and my favorite part was was watching Brian and his son Ben. Ben and I share the same name. That's his first name is my middle name. I'm Benjamin. Don't call me Benjamin or Benji. But you know what? All right, Frogger.
Janae.
Hey, Bobby, I gotta run. My phone battery's just about dead.
All right, dude. We're getting out of here in a second anyway. But
Yeah.
They got a new thing called electricity.
Yeah, but I can't have this plugged in same time.
Oh no.
Oh no. But it was so. It was so. Richie, we'll see you next week, bro. It was so awesome to see Ben out there with Brian and them out there together. We're all out there. It was. I'll tell you, man. It just. I don't know. I don't have any words for it. It was just. I was just not worried about what I was doing and kind of pulling for them, And that's crazy thing is.
That's when we're out with people.
I just was like, I was looking I kept saying to Ben, it's coming. And I was, I was so stoked, man. I was just like, how awesome would that be to be here for this? But it was awesome. And I can't wait. And I appreciate y'all. And thank you all for coming. Sorry for keeping you so long, but,
We're off tonight.
It's passion, man. You guys stoke me. You guys get me all stoked, and seeing all the finds and the videos, and it's you guys that renew my faith. When I get into that, yeah, well, not a slump, but I try not to get into slumps. But I get into. You do this long enough, you see enough, and there's a new nozzle every day. You know, it's just a
Yeah.
new one every day. But I always can come back to you
It
guys
is.
and these people, and they're just awesome, and I appreciate it. I'll let you get out of here. We're out of here. I'm gonna go make some chili dogs.
Ugh. At your age, this late at night?
Yeah.
Even without COVID, I get out at 3:15. Don't get home till 3:40. Wait till 4:30 to call my friend. Then we play Minecraft all day.
It sucks to be you. I'm going to have chili dogs.
Peace.
Yeah, all right. You guys have a great night. We appreciate y'all.
See you,
guys
brother.
are awesome. Love y'all. Bill and
Y'all
Squeak.
have a good one.
Squeak, get better. Jenny, get better.
She's doing her phone game shit.
Oh, there you go.
She
And,
has a friend
we'll
with
s-
her.
We'll see you guys. I don't know if Dawn and Shelly are streaming tomorrow night. Look out for
We
you.
have to do the Jewish community yearly meeting tomorrow night. So we're gonna
Mazel
be
tov.
we're gonna be tied up with work tomorrow night. Unfortunately, if they do stream, hopefully we'll be able to catch it later on. I mean, we've been having to do that a lot. Watch the streams later. We just, man, our work schedule is bombing us. But I can't really complain because we got to pay bills.
Pays the bills, bro. Pays the bills. Y'all have a great night. Love, peace, and hair grease. Well, we'll see you guys later, man. Outta here.
Peace.
Where'd you get hair grease from?
You just sit there.
Freeze frame.